Insurance. Insurance is value in the form of a protection policy for an asset. For a predetermined series of payments over time, insurance transfers the responsibility for protection of that asset between two or more parties. Since the risks are being transferred between parties, the buyer of the insurance policy is protected from all costs responsible if risk occurs. Therefore, the seller of the insurance policy is responsible for the claims of risk noted within that policy if something does happen. However, if risk does not happen, if risk does not occur, the seller of the insurance policy retains all money paid for assuming responsibility for the insurance. To provide value via insurance, you must be able to identify an asset that you desire to protect from risk. Then you must find potential customers who want protection of that asset from risk. Once you're able to do that, you need to be able to assess the risk and develop an insurance policy that transfers the responsibility of risk on that asset from customer to you, the seller of the insurance. And last but not least, you need to collect payments over a period of time. Value model number 4, a lease. A lease is the process of acquiring an asset of value and in exchange for a fee, allowing a customer to utilize that asset for a particular period of time. For the lease to be successful, a good standard of quality of that asset must be able to be maintained over time to allow for rental and reuse. To create a value model using a lease, you must be able to acquire an asset of value that potential people will desire to use. Next, you must be able to negotiate a set of terms of agreements to lease that asset to your potential customer. Third, you have to ensure that the money, the revenue, the collected from the lease not only covers the price of the lease itself, especially, and this is important, the asset that is being leased, it must cover the price of that asset before value is diminished or lost. And last but not least, you have to ensure that that asset is protected from risk, because if anything happens during that period of time on your lease, you will be responsible for that asset. So you have to make sure that that asset is protected from any risk from happening. Value model number 6, a loan. A loan is value in the form of an agreed allocation of resources, where a lender provides access to those resources to a borrower. For access to the resource, the borrower must make series of payments over time to the lender. So, to provide value using a loan model, you must have valuable assets and resources to lend. Next, you must be able to find people who desire access to that asset, who want to borrow those resources. And based on those resources, you need to be able to set an amount that the borrower feels comfortable to agreeing to pay over an extended period of time. And throughout that time period, you must be able to ensure that those risks, those resources and assets, in the case that the loan cannot be repaid, because you need to be able to go get that back and go make your money. So if you're able to do these 4 things, you can create a loan value model. Value model number 7. An option. An option is value provided in the ability of allowing customers to take action on something before a predefined deadline. And through that access, you receive a fee. So, to provide value via an option value model, you must be able to identify an action, a set of behaviors, something people will desire to do. Once you identify that, you need to be able to create an offer and convince potential customers to pay for participation in that desired action offered. Next, you need to be able to select dates, because it can't be offered forever. You have to select dates for which the offer of action is set to take place. And during the implementation of that action, you need to be able to identify additional, more flexible ways to offer a better experience to your customer. You need to figure out more options once the original action has been taken that you can provide to that customer.